Alright, you masters, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about what to do if you're being attacked by a dog. But before we're going to start, if you're interested in detective stories, there will be a link to my book called Bloody Crosses. It's in Dutch. If you're interested, take a look in the description, there will be a link. So, the reason why I make this video is yesterday I've been attacked by a dog. I was just riding on my bicycle and this grandma was walking with her dog, and this dog has not much interaction with other people or was not good trained, because the dog broke loose and it was chasing me, and not in a playful way, it was aggressive chasing me, barely teeth, growling, and it was determined to catch me. But luckily he got called back by the grandma, but he still chased me for about 20 meters, and I was on my bicycle, so I could outrun it. So that's the reason why I want to make this video, in case you ever being attacked by a dog. And I'm not talking about being attacked in a way that you are prepared. We are going to talk about more improvised ways to, if you're being attacked by a dog, and you're going on a stroll, walking just on a hiking path. If you walk past someone's house that you know that their dogs could be walking around freely or break out, could happen. When I lived at my parents' home, there was a neighbor at the end of the street, and they had one of those Akita dogs, and these dogs are notorious for escaping because they only need this kind of grab with their paws to climb over a fence. So it's not even a Belgian Malinois or something. So this thing, they needed to build the fence this high just so he wouldn't be able to reach around, and even then he one time escaped. And he attacked other dogs after that. So those are things that could happen. So first of all I want to say is, of course, prevention. If you're going to cross a dog, if you're walking, first of all, don't give off signs that you're threatening to the dogs. What do I mean by that? If you're going to cross paths with somebody who has a dog, you don't know, first of all, you don't know how well trained this dog is. Maybe this is a great dog, great trained, the boss of the dog has it under control, but for the same thing, it's just somebody who is a dog sitter, who has no experience with dogs, it's their first dog, and they don't have the animal under control, or they have not been able to train it yet. So that could happen. So what you want to do is, you don't want to make eye contact with the dog severely. So don't keep staring at the dog, because the dog will assume it as a threat that way. Second thing I would say is, don't look nervous. Don't go like, oh shit. Because dogs are very perceptional that way. So if they see that you're scared, they assume that you are prey, or so to say, in their biological way. So yeah, that's also something. Just keep walking forward. Keep an eye on it, but don't look it directly in the eye. Just walk like you just walk around, but keep an eye on it. Second thing I would say is, never pet a dog that you don't know, and never pet a dog whereby the owner cannot assure you that it's okay to pet them. I've seen so many people petting a dog that they don't know, even from strangers. Oh, look at that cutie! And they were biting because they did not ask permission, so they cannot be sure that the dog was friendly by the accordance of the owner. They just went to a stranger dog. So that's all first thing. And especially if it's a dog that is running loose without an owner, you don't know if this dog has broken out, is aggressive, or perhaps even has rabies. So that's some things that you need to assume if you see a dog that you don't know. I would also say, keep some distance. Keep leash distance away. If you see that the dog is on this way, go to the side. Don't just walk only 30 centimeters from, because they can certainly, because you don't know what this dog has been through. Some dogs, they are friendly, but perhaps they are dogs from a pound, or they have a traumatic experience with somebody with a specific look, a specific noise, a specific smell, and that could trigger something, and they go, oh, and they have that natural uh, fight or flight reaction, and usually it will be fight because they're on a leash and they cannot run away. So that's something that could happen. You don't know what this dog has been through. It will be nothing personally. This dog could just have a traumatic person with somebody like me who wears black, so to say, or somebody who has a specific smell that remind them when they were abused. Sometimes could happen, or you would smell like a cat or another dog that you might have. So that could all lead to some aggression from a seemingly friendly dog. So prevention is the first step you always need to take. The same thing goes, like I said before, if you walk by a house and you know from the past experience that this house has aggressive dog, a dog that could easily break out, or a dog that you know that the owner just lets run around freely like around the farm. So try to avoid those areas. In certain parts, I know you cannot avoid it. There are certain parts, if I go for a walk, I get scared by 5 dogs because I walk past a gate or a fence and suddenly they jump at the fence, and yeah, it's never fun. But one day they will break through the fence, or they will be determined enough to climb over the fence, or by accident the gate, because the owner gets something out of the car, the dog escaped through the door or the gate. Could also happen, so be very aware and careful for that. So prevention is the first step. But what, like in my case, if you get attacked? In my case, I done something. How do I say this? I was lucky that it was like a big dog. It was like, oh, it's not a border collie. It's like one of those smaller, fat, old lady dogs. I don't know what brand they are, but I was lucky that I was on a bicycle and I had some speed already. But if you know the biology of canines, like dogs, they get triggered by movement, unlike a Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park. But if you run away, they will see you as prey. They will see you as something that, even if it's something to play, it will trigger something in them and they want to chase you. They're like wolves. They hunt on the move. They will run along the prey and they will take bites out of it. That's usually the way that this kind of animal are going to hunt, so to say. So if you are triggering that hunting instinct, yeah. I was lucky that it was one of those smaller fat dogs, so he only chased me for 20 centimeters, and probably because it was from an old lady, he will not get that much active exercise, or it was perhaps an older dog, so he only chased me for 20 meters before he gave up. But for the same thing, it was one of those dogs that are more, how do I say it? Yeah, sorry, there's a mouse running over there in my garden, so I have to deal with that later on. I see you, little shit. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah. So imagine if it's a dog that is has more fitness, like a Belgian Malinois, a Rottweiler, Doberman, Akita, whatever. It's a dog that can keep chasing you. What are you going to do then? Well, I would have not been able to ride it out, so to say. This dog will chase me, will catch me up, and they will bite on the move. So in that way, I would have taken the bicycle and put it between me and the dog to at least till somebody could help me in that regard. So yeah, put something between you and the dog. In this case, that would be the bicycle. But what if you don't have, like me, a bicycle on the hand? Well, first of all, if I would have an umbrella, that's also something that you can use. You got to give the dog something to bite. They will try to bite anything unless they are trained to bite for certain parts. And what you can do is you take the umbrella and that's the first thing you provide. You provide something that he can bite on. The moment they bite, you can do stuff. When they bite the umbrella, you can kick them somewhere between somewhere around the ribs, so that way you can perhaps scare them or break a rib so they will have difficulty breathing, or scare them away. But you can also try to give it to them if they bite and poke them in the eyes or something. But be careful because they will be able to snap at your fingers, so I would always suggest to first kick and keep distance between you. Never go down. The moment the dog take you down, he can easily dominate you because he's low, he's on four legs, and yeah, you don't want them to bite at this sensitive part. And certain dog breeds can go for certain weak spots like the neck, the face, perhaps even the groin. Some breeds are it's bred in them to catch those sensitive parts. So that's something that you need to really watch out for. If you don't have an umbrella, for example, if you walk just like that around me, if I would have, if I would see a dog that would come to me to attack me, the first thing you would I would say is give the, like I said before, you got to give them something to hang on to that they will bite, and instead of a sensitive part. In this case, I would say I wear a fairly loose jacket. So if you give your arm, so to say, they will, because it's a little, they can at least slide off with this bigger fabric. They can grab it, and that way you can get some sort of control over them. Like I said before, you can kick, you can try to kick, you can try to poke them in the eyes, or you can use that time to get something out of your bag. In my case, I always have some homemade pepper spray with me. So if they have a bite on my jacket, so to say, I can keep it under control and use something like this pepper spray that I can just take out of my bag and spray it in his eyes. And always knows that's the most sensitive part of a dog. So in the worst case scenario, I would say is you will have to, perhaps if nobody's around to help you, perhaps the multi-tool, you can open it with one hand, keep it under control and stab the dog. Yeah, not nice, but you don't want to be mauled to death from a dog. That's very horrible, especially if they are really aggressive fighting breeds, so to say. So be very careful about that. Never lose your balance. The dog will try to pull you down, and the moment you fell down, it will be very ugly from then on. There are so many videos on the internet by people being attacked by dogs, and usually usually the ugly part is when they are going down and they try to bite the face or the neck. That's where it gets really ugly. So that's one thing that you can do. If you don't have a jacket, perhaps, I'm going to take my jacket off. So for example, you don't have a jacket. Yeah, what you can do is take your shirt off, roll it around your arm and present that. So like I said before, you have it wrapped around your arm and you can keep some control and you give something to bite instead of your body. So that's another thing you can do. If you have a bag like me and you always carry a shamak, same thing, you take it out around your arm and you present that to let the dog bite inside of it. And yeah, those are usually your options. You have to, if you have the same stuff as me that I usually wear in my EDC. And yeah, the best thing is also to scream, at least that somebody around can help you while you're keeping the dog under control with either your shirt, your mark, or your jacket. And hopefully somebody will come and help. Yeah, and that's the most things you can do without special gear. Some people will take some tools with them if they know or they are scared of dogs going on a walk. So for example, certain people in my neighborhood, they go for walks in the forest area, but there are a lot of people with their dogs walking around there. So they are usually prepared with something. What I see some people do, first of all, always have some improvised pepper spray with you. It is just some alcohol mixed with cayenne pepper and piments, and that's something that you can just open up, and from 5 meters away you can shoot a concentrated beam at the dog. So that's the way. That's a way you can deter them that way, or at least blind them so you can run away and they cannot even sniff you because their nose will also be affected. So that's one of the things you can do. I see some people wear one of those ultrasonic dog deterrents. I have never bought one, but the thing is, the what I heard so far, the results are mixed. Some people say that the dog will ignore it. Some people say the dog will be scared from it, and some people say that the dog is even getting more aggressive from it because they are getting annoyed right now. It's like a fighting dog. If the more you fight it, the more it will get pumped up, the more aggressive it will become. So if you know from personal experience how effective this is, because I hear mixed reviews, let me know in the comments what you know about these ultrasonic dog deterrents, if they are effective or not. I'm always eager to learn. So what I also heard some people say, and this is something that I do not, how do you say this? I do not advise this, but it is a dog whistle. I heard some people say say that I take a dog whistle because it scares the dogs away. But there's a problem with that logic. Some dogs will be scared from this, but some other dogs will be attracted by it, especially if they are trained dogs. Usually, this will be dogs that need to be trained, like hunting or fighting breeds, so to say. So you don't want another dog involved in this fight, or even that the dog that is over there that will be attracted to you. But if you want to save a third person, you can perhaps become the distraction if they are mauling some other dog or somebody else. Perhaps it can help, but yet again, mixed results, and it's possibly making the situation worse. So yeah, a dog whistle can be, it can be, it can it can backfire against you, is what I'm trying to say, especially if they are trained with dog whistles. So I would not advise you to carry a dog whistle. What you can do, and this is perhaps better than a dog whistle, is my Aztec death whistle. If you are afraid of dogs and you want to scare the dog away, a very loud, scary noise that they probably never heard before in their life can be helpful for that. So if you don't know what an Aztec death whistle is, that is something that you can whistle with it, and it's extremely loud and it will scare the shit out of anyone. I made a whole video about the survival uses of one of those Aztec death whistles. I will show you now. Imagine if you are a dog, you never heard this sound, and you want to investigate, or you're perhaps aggressive, or you're looking if the person is a threat, and you hear the person make this sound. It's very loud, even my ears are now ringing from that. So that could scare a dog away, or at least keep some distance, because dogs can hear very well. And if you play this, it is about 100 decibels, even it will hurt their ears. So even if they are aggressive to you, it can deter them to come closer. And the more beauty about this is, you, instead of a scream that will tear your vocals apart, you can keep blowing on this and keep the noise going, that they don't want to come near you because it will hurt their ears like hell. You can keep doing this, and at the same time you can call, because it sounds like a scream. People will come around to see what is going on, and they can help you with the situation with the dog in that regard. So that's also something that you can do. If you have, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you can also use just a walking cane instead of an umbrella to do the same thing, or to keep the dog at bay with something between you. And what I also forgot to say is, if you have a dog, you can use this as a sort of barrier between you and the dog, and try to keep it away from you that way. So I forgot to mention that. That's also something that you can do with an umbrella. Alright, so we had prevention, we had active measurements, and what will you do after? Because I've heard some horror stories about uh, how do you say this, judicial procedures that went after a dog attacked someone. So yeah, first of all, I will tell you about some of these. Here in the neighborhood, I think, oh no, it was further away. There was a guy who who is very scared of dogs. You know, these kind of people. These are the people who have the same fear like people who go out of their way if they see a spider. They freeze up. They need to flee because something like that. Certain people have this kind of fear, phobia, even for dogs. And some of these people, and this example is there was this kind of jogger, and there was one of those dogs that got loose. But this was not an aggressive dog; it was a playful dog. But he went after the jogger in a playful way, and the jogger was so scared that he stabbed the dog, and there was a whole media circus about it. That this man is an animal abuser. The other side said, "Yeah, but you should keep your dog under control." He could not have known that this dog was friendly and playful and never had aggression in his life. But yeah, both sides, you can see the thing about it. But this guy got into a lot of judicial trouble because of it, because now he was marked as a dog abuser. But if you hear the other side, he only defended himself. But yeah, who is right? How much force can you use? When you can use force? Can you determine? Do you have time enough to determine if the dog is aggressive or just playful and curious? Yeah, that's something that you perhaps only have a few seconds to think about. But sometimes you can have minutes till you see the dog. You can try to back off, take another route that you don't have to take the risk. That's also part of the prevention. But that is something that happened to this guy, and there was a lot of procedures from the court behind it. I don't know how it ended, but for the rest of his life, this guy would be branded as the dog abuser. But I can understand him. I don't know the facts, but there are two sides of this story, and both sides I can see how they could react like that. So that's something that you. There is also something that happened when I was a child. I went walking with the dog of the neighbor, and we crossed with other dogs. And because I was a child, I was not accustomed to the behavior of dogs, and they suddenly, because they both look friendly, and suddenly they attacked each other, and there was a whole thing about cost for the vets. Should we get the cops with it? Luckily, they were local people. We could talk it out with my parents, and we had to pay for the vet in that way. So yeah, that could have been a whole lot worse. Is what I'm trying to say. Especially if it's when it's I was a child, so yeah, for me it was a very scary moment, so to say. So that's something that you also need to think about: is who is going to be guilty? Did you overstep? It's hard to say what you should always do because every situation is different. Daytime, nighttime. What kind of dog is it? Is it on the sidewalk? Is it on the street? Is it in the forest? Is it yeah? Has the dog a history of this kind of aggressive behavior? Yeah, there are so many things that could make this go wrong. Is what I'm trying to say. So be aware of the legal ramifications about this. Try to look in your local laws how this kind of stuff would work out, and what you can do and what you cannot do. So yeah, that's something that you need to watch out for, especially if you are scared of dogs or you know that your friend that is walking with you has a irrational fear of dogs. Be very aware of this. Is what I'm trying to say. All right, think I'm through with it. So I would say if you got any experience with this, let me know in the comments and what happened to them. I'm always eager to learn. Like, subscribe, all good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!